Box turtles like making friends, but that doesn't necessarily mean they want to come home with you if you were to find one in the wild. Here in today's Critters Uncaged from the University of Illinois Wildlife Medical Clinic, Dr. Stephanie Lewis and Dr. Amanda Wong are here, as well as our ambassador turtle, Hazel. Introduce us.
Thanks for having us. This is Hazel, our eastern box turtle. She has been an ambassador with us since 2017. For about 2 years prior to coming to the Wildlife Medical Clinic, a family was taking care of her, but unfortunately they inappropriately took her from the wild without a permit. Her prior caretakers were not educated about her very specific requirements for proper nutrition, temperature, and humidity, so that resulted in several health issues, including the loss of several toes on her front feet.
Oh, poor Hazel. So what are some of the proper accommodations that Hazel needs to have to live a high quality of life?
Yeah, so like most reptiles, box turtles have a very specific temperature range that they should be maintained at. It will vary depending on the season, but a common issue that we have in captive care is lack of appropriate vitamin D or UV lighting. Another big concern we have with them is with their diet. So if they don't have proper calcium supplementation, they may not grow appropriately, especially when they're younger.
Okay, these are common in Central Illinois, yes?
They are a common native species in Central Illinois, but that doesn't mean they should be a common pet.
Okay, so let's talk about finding an example of an eastern box turtle like Hazel here out in your backyard in the wild. What should we do? What are we looking for?
Sure. So most of the time when you find these turtles in your yard, the best thing actually to do is leave them alone unless they are injured. So the majority of the time they're looking for a place to lay their eggs, or they're looking for a mate. So most of the time actually it's just best to observe them from afar and let them go on their way. There are certain things that we can look for if they're injured. If you do find a turtle that's injured, they do need to go to a licensed wildlife rehabilitator, like the Wildlife Medical Clinic, or another licensed rehabilitator.
So how would we know whether or not it is injured and use you as a resource to get some help for it? Like if it's, what are we looking for?
Yeah, so there are a couple of quick things you can do when you come across a wild turtle. One, their biggest, most obvious feature is that giant shell of theirs.
Yes.
So we can look at the turtle and look at the top and bottom of their shell to see if there are any wounds or fractures. As you can see, Miss Hazel does not have any of that.
So this is like a typical exam like you would do at the wildlife clinic?
Yes, this is part of our triage exam when we're assessing our patients.
Okay.
Another big thing to look at is their attitude. So Hazel's very friendly. She's used to being around us, but a turtle should be interacting with their environment. They probably should not be happy to be picked up, and they might be hissing at you, which is normal. And we should hopefully see ability to move all four of her legs.
Okay, well, I'm so glad that she is a pleasant turtle hanging out with us. No sass to be seen. Thank you so much for coming. These are great tips for people who may happen upon an eastern box turtle in their backyard. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Heather.
If you want to learn more about the work they're doing at the Wildlife Medical Clinic, you can visit their website or their Facebook page, which we will link up over at our website, CILiving.tv. Now